Hello, welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Podcast interview show. Today we have Master Stephen Koh, who is an expert in pranic healing, which is a form of energy medicine designed to increase and direct the amount of life force in our bodies, which in turn to help facilitate healing. Master Koh has been teaching and practicing pranic healing for well over 30 years and has learnt this amazing modality from the creator himself, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. Thank you so much for joining us, Master Koh.
Thank you, Jaina. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you. How are you? How's everything in California?
Yeah, under all the circumstances, we're doing well. Thank
You're
you.
doing okay. You're able to work from home even though there's a lockdown. So um
Yeah, in the office by myself.
yeah. So you've been teaching pranic healing well over 30 years. Please tell us please tell us a bit about your story. How did you get involved with it? Please tell us what you how this came about for you.
Well, unlike a lot of people who are interested in health and healing and well-being, I really wasn't interested at all. Like this was in 1988. I was just going about my business. 24 years old, and anyway, got married. My wife fell and broke her hip bone. So
Oh,
she fell from about almost 3 meters. So you can
oh
imagine
my
her
God.
hip separated. And after 1 week of traction, where they pull the bones until they're even, the doctor said it'll take about 3.5 months before the bones could actually fuse enough that you could walk. And for me, that was not an option. I said that was way too long. So I told the doctor, "Is there something you can do to make it faster?" He said, "Nope. That's basically how the body heals. You have to live with it." Well, growing up, I've learned that life will give you what you're willing to settle for. And I
What
was
you're
not
willing
about
to
to settle for
accept.
that. Nope.
Mm.
And so I was looking around. I was in the Philippines then. That's when I took this class from the originator, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui, on this class called Pranic Healing. Pranic comes from the word prana, which is life force, and healing. Uh, I worked on her, did the technique on her 3 times a day in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She was walking. 5 weeks she was
Wow.
running. And all of that was me not feeling a single thing. And I was doubting the whole thing basically the entire time because I'm an engineer by trade. I don't see it, I don't believe it. Yet I could not refute the facts that she's walking.
That's
And
amazing. Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's how it all started. And we also did a lot of experiments where uh, people. I mean, I did experiments because I didn't believe it. I go, oh, it might be just a fluke or something. So I
Mm.
did the healing on my mom who had indigestion. She felt better. Started working on other people, and then from then I was sent here to the United States to teach it. And it's, as they say, it's the rest is history.
Wow. So it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a fad. This is a real thing. This worked on your wife, it healed her. She's walking. I'm assuming she's absolutely fine now, no problems, no
Yeah, actually,
injury. It's
that
all
hip
completely gone.
is strong. That hip is actually stronger than the other hip now. That's weird.
Wow, yeah, that that is weird. That is weird. So could you tell us then, I have to say that is an amazing, amazing story. For the sake of clarity, what exactly is pranic healing? What would you define it as?
Well, I think the best way to do this is not just only talk about it, but let you experience it. So I know you guys
Okay,
are watching this, and it works just the same way. So if you rub your hands together, okay,
I'm
that's to
doing
increase
this
the
too.
blood flow. Okay, increase the blood flow because in Oriental medicine they say blood follows life force, or life force follows blood. They basically attached. Okay, so when you go like this, you increase blood flow. Then you want to press the center of your palms. This is to stimulate the energy centers there, or the acupuncture point, if you will. Okay, shake your hands. Now put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now it's important to keep the tongue on the roof of the mouth because anytime you do any type of energy work like Tai Chi, meditation, you want the energy to keep flowing and not stagnate. So when you put your tongue on your palate, there's a channel from the bottom of your mouth to your pelvic floor, from the top of your mouth going up, around to the same place. The only place it's not connected is your mouth. So that's because you have to talk and you have to eat. So when you connect your tongue to the palate, you connect the circuit. It's just like when you turn the light switch on, the copper wires connect, there's current flowing. This is
Mm-hmm.
life current flowing. All right. So if you put your hand like this with your tongue on the roof of your mouth, just keep your
Okay.
eyes closed. Close your eyes. Put your gentle attention on your palms. Take a deep breath. Inhale light into your hands. Just imagine inhaling light and exhale out of your palms. Again, imagine inhaling light into your palms and exhale. One more time, take a deep breath and exhale. All right, good enough. Now, if you try moving your hands like this, some of you might feel a sensation in your palms. Some people feel heat, some people feel pressure. Okay, now we're going to put our hands facing each other this way. Again, tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just imagine there's a cloud, there's a white cloud in between your hands. I want you to just gently, super gently, just gently compress it, let it expand. Compress that cloud, let it expand. One more time. Okay, so again, some people are more sensitive than others, but most people, when they do this, they feel a slight pressure or sensation in your hand. Now,
Yes, I
next.
can I can feel it. I can feel it. Wow.
All right. Now we're going to use one finger. Put your hand about, 1 foot apart, and then just twirl your finger. Imagine there's a laser beam of light from your fingertip. Aim it at the open palm and rotate. And the other direction. Okay, again, some of you feel something here. Let's try the other hand. Same thing. Imagine a light from the finger pointing to the palm. Just rotate it. And the other way. Okay, now, one last thing. Put your hand like this. All right. We'll explain all this to you later. Just keep your hand like this. Now, you're there, I'm here. Okay, every time we do this, most people, even though they're watching, they could feel a sensation in your hand.
Yeah, I can really feel this. I can't believe it. I can really feel the sensation in my palms of my hands. Oh my God.
And you're in England, I'm in California.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So that gives you a little idea. What you're feeling is the life force that flows through your body. Now in India, you call this prana. They call it like a life's breath. In Chinese, they call it qi, like when you see people doing tai chi or doing acupuncture. In Japanese, they call it ki. So this life force, this energy is what keeps your body alive and maintain itself. So whenever you get sick, whenever you get injured, there's a blockage of this flow of this life force. That's why the body does not have enough fuel to repair itself. So what pranic healing does is understand that number one, the body tries to heal itself. And number two, in order to heal itself, the body is using this fuel called prana or life force to use as fuel to repair itself. So what we try to do in pranic healing is if somebody's sick, somebody has some disorder, somebody has an ailment, we already know that there's blockages or energy disturbances in the energy field. So that means the body cannot absorb this healing force. The body cannot heal itself. By using certain movement of our hands and visualization and breathing, we can restore the flow of energies so the body can now have more fuel to repair itself. Now, this prana, this life force, also comes from other places. It comes from the sun. We call it solar prana, from the air, or air prana, the earth. It also comes from other people. That's why you notice when you're with people with low energy, being with them for a few minutes, you feel drained and tired because energy flows
Yes.
in that direction, right? Now, there are foods that you eat that have more energy. Fresh foods, when you eat it, you increase your energy level. You take ginseng, you take this and that. All these have life force. Now, medicine also have specific frequencies of this life force. So as your body takes it in, physically, it has the chemicals that whatever your body needs, or good or bad, depends how you look at it, on how you repair your body. But at the same time, it is carrying that specific life force. So something that is disinfecting, or yeah, let's say disinfecting to kill bacteria, germs, and so on and so on, it has a chemical counterpart. Then you have the energetic counterpart where there's a color or frequency life force that is simultaneously working in the physical body. So your physical body and your so-called energy system work hand in hand. So pranic healing specifically works on the energy system to accelerate the body's ability to repair and heal itself.
And so you are clearing blockages that we have in our body. So that could be in the chakra system, the meridians, the the energy systems flowing throughout our body all our time. So you are basically clearing out these blockages and then putting in fresh, clean prana in your body to rejuvenate us.
Yes, the easiest way to understand it is something like this. That's why I did that experiment with you earlier. What you're feeling, even though you're not touching, is the life force that flows through the entire world. Just imagine the entire world is swimming in this ocean of energy. Now, simple question. If everybody's swimming in an ocean of energy, how could anyone have low energy? How could anyone have not the ability to heal their bodies quickly? It's just like if you put a sponge in the water interpenetrates the sponge at some time. But
Mm-hmm.
what if the sponge has some dirt or you put a piece of tape on top of it, then the water cannot get in. Same thing. We're swimming in an ocean of life force or prana throughout the world. That's why wherever you are, even though I'm far away, by just the right technique, you can feel the energy because we're swimming in the same ocean.
Yes.
So the only reason it's not going in is because there's something that is blocking it. Now, here's the
Okay.
problem. Many healing techniques, what they try to do when it comes to healing is, oh, you need energy because your body's sick or whatever. They want to put energy into you,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. The only problem is if there's a block, if you don't remove the block, you put energy in, you just shove it deeper. And that's why some people, after receiving a session, they get worse rather than getting better. And then a few days later, after sweating and having diarrhea and flu-like symptoms, they get better. That's called a healing crisis. So what we
I
try
see.
to do in healing, in pranic healing, is to let people understand. Look, first and foremost, you want to clear whatever's blocking because your body has the innate ability to repair itself. So when you take vitamins and herbs and everything, usually what the body first tries to do is detox, flush out what you don't need. So in pranic healing, we first do a lot of cleansing or purifying the energy field so that your aura can breathe. Once it can breathe, the energy centers or chakras can breathe, then if needed, then you put energy in.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense. Wow. I am so impressed. This is amazing. Um, so you're going to show us a demonstration a little bit later on particular techniques that we can do. But I have to say, there's so many other different energy modalities out there like Reiki, Qigong, Tai Chi, among other energy exercises. You've told us what pranic healing is, but what makes it so good compared to these modalities, compared to Reiki, compared to
Mhm.
Qigong? They're all energy generating techniques.
Well, the way I was taught by my teacher is something like this. All energy techniques have one objective, and that objective is to be able to help people heal faster. Okay, that's the way I was taught by my teachers. All healing comes from one source, but it's done in different ways. Most healing modalities focus on giving energy because they make the assumption the body needs energy to heal, which is correct, but the process is different. So what makes pranic healing different is here are a few things. Number one, we always do massive cleansing. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you guys today is cleansing is so important because if you don't first remove the blockage, energy cannot go in. It's just like you taking a ton of vitamins, but if your stomach is all clogged up, the body cannot absorb those nutrients.
Yes.
Make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
that's one. We do a lot of cleansing. Number two, in Reiki and other healing traditions, basically what they when they give energy, they let the energy go where it needs to, which makes sense on surface, right? You put energy in, the body knows where to go. However, if the body is so blocked, the energy has difficulty penetrating to the places it needs. So what we try to do in pranic healing is something like this. What my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui, did for many, many years is actually did a ton of experiments. And these experiments involve taking clients or patients that have different ailments and observing what energy patterns they have. And guess what he found
Mm-hmm.
out? Every, let's say, every person with gastrointestinal problem will have a unique set of energy patterns. Everybody with heart problems will have a unique set of energy patterns. So that means if 100 people show up with, let's say, gastrointestinal problems, even if I don't know what the heck I'm doing, if I just look at this recipe that he has of where these energy centers and energy patterns are,
Mm-hmm.
use a specific technique of correcting them, anybody can heal. And that's exactly what happened with me because I couldn't feel anything. I was not sensitive. When I did this experiment like you guys, I didn't feel a darn thing. So in my wife's case, with her broken hip, I couldn't feel what's wrong. But because of the research my teacher did, he already said, okay, for broken bones, musculoskeletal issues, these are the patterns that are going
This
on.
will work. This is the thing that will work. Okay.
So I just followed
Okay.
like a recipe. Clear this, put energy here, repeat it again. As we say, rinse and repeat. You just repeat it
Mm-hmm.
over and
Mm-hmm.
over it. That's why in 2, 3 days she goes, wow, I can move my hip. She can walk. Can limp a little bit. In 2 weeks, she was walking normally because every element has a unique pattern. So one of the unique things with pranic healing that's very different from a lot of healing modalities, we work with what you call protocols. So every element, every disorder has a set of techniques. Not very different than when you're cooking, you have recipes. So that
Yes.
means you can take anyone who's willing to help someone, teach them how to use these recipes. They can help anyone that has that particular ailment. So that's what one of the main differences. And one last thing, if I can share this, Jane, is something like this. Let me ask you: have you heard of healers who take on the symptoms or the problems of the patients?
Yes, all the
Yeah.
time.
You
Hmm.
heard of healers where they can help a lot of people, but they get drained and tired that in a short time they look like they age very quickly.
Yes, and then they need to clear themselves because of all this, all the work they've done on their patients.
Exactly the point. One of the strongest contributions of pranic healing to the healing world is what we call energy hygiene. We just from the start of the class, what we teach you is like number one, this is how you generate more energy. So when you heal others, you don't get drained because number one, you never use your own life force. You are simply a conduit or a pump where you pump the energy in so you can pump to someone else. Number two, every time we work on someone and clear someone, we never take the energy in. We intentionally wash it off our system by putting it in salt water or doing certain energetic technique. While in most traditions, and uh, I've seen this many, many times, they make the assumption. They say, oh, as long as I'm helping someone, these things don't affect me. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. After 2, 3 years, they can barely move their arm.
I've heard that as well. I've heard
Okay.
that because of the negative energy accumulating in the body.
Because they don't realize upon touching the energy field of another person, there'd be some absorption. Now, over time, it builds up. Now, in pranic healing, that doesn't happen if the practitioner follows the step-by-step clearing technique while they're working on the client. Like, for example, every time we work on someone, we have a sprayer that has an astringent with lavender oil. So as we work on people, we go like this to prevent things from accumulating. And then immediately after we're done, we do self-cleansing and we cut the negative connection so we don't get drained. So if you accumulate all this negative energy over a period of years and you don't clear it out, back pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, that's very common with massage therapists, healers, and body workers. All that could be prevented if they just know how to protect themselves at the start.
So that sounds brilliant. So you are energetically cleansing yourself as well by practicing energetic hygiene. That's really
Simultaneously.
important.
Correct.
Using the salt, using the lavender, using alcohol, those things actually help cleanse you.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure, as everybody know, there's this massive world crisis that we have with the coronavirus. A lot of people are ill, a lot of people are sick, um, and a lot of people have respiratory issues, breathing difficulties, etc. Is there something in pranic healing that you can recommend that can help with this problem? Because this is a big, big problem, and I just think it's about to get worse.
Well, we have to address it on many levels. The first level is our consciousness. Science has proven that when a person has a lot of fear, that will compromise the immune system for the next 6, 7 hours. Okay? So, one, when a person just focuses on watching the news and just drowns themselves in that negative news, obviously that will affect their consciousness. Of course, you need to watch, so you need to study and watch so you know what's going on to protect you and your family. But some people, it's excessive, as in that's all they watch the whole entire days because they're on lockdown. Well, guess what? That fills up their consciousness, and they become more negative, and their energy level drops. So
Yes.
energy level drops, immunity drops. So step one is clear your consciousness through, again, just taking the information you need and practicing meditation. Number two, by doing certain breathing exercises, what you're doing with the breathing exercises is increasing the life force of prana in your body. Now, we already know, children have a tendency to heal faster than older people. And that's because children have more energy. That's why you see children bouncing off the walls and hyperactive, but you don't see them hyperactive senior citizens. It has to do with the energy level. So the key is this: if you can use certain techniques of breathing and meditation and energy work to increase your energy level, then the chances of contracting something, and even if you did, your body has the ability to fight it. So
Hmm.
that's the second tier. So first one is changing your consciousness. Number two is increasing your energy level. And number three, if the person does have the coronavirus or some other ailment, then you have to use the protocol for increasing the healing rate, the natural healing rate of the body towards any respiratory ailments. And there's a specific step-by-step syntax of all these different techniques that people can do once they learn pranic healing.
I see. So there is recipes for certain things like immunity, weight loss, depression. There are recipes, breathing techniques that can actually help with these problems as well. But you need to learn the basics of pranic healing first.
It'll be easier because, for example, if I sit here and say, okay, do this, this, and this, you're going to go, what is that? So that's why you have to learn. It's just like learning to cook. You don't just throw all the ingredients in front of someone and say, okay, produce me some lunch. Make sense? There's a way of
You're right.
thinking, okay, how to do this, then this, and this, because this sequence produces a series of different outcomes that you're looking for. So in India, they call that a ritual or a puja. In the Catholic tradition, they call it a mass. In England, you have Harry Potter, they call it magic. All these are basically different step-by-step techniques to produce a certain physical or energetic outcome.
Okay, so could you show us an introduction to it? Could you show us a very basic technique that could introduce most people to this?
Okay, there are many different ones, and we're kind of limited with the amount of space and everything. So we'll just start with something very, very simple.
Okay.
And we'll do two things. One, we'll do certain breathing, and then we'll do certain cleansing. The nice thing about this cleansing technique, you can do it anytime. Let's say you're at work, you're at home, you're stressed out. It's a simple way to clear negative energy out of your system. It can be used to help you if you have back pain, headache. Simple technique you can do for yourself. Now, normally you want to have a bucket of salt and water next to you to throw the negative energy. But since you're not prepared for this, there's a way around it. You can visualize a green fire. So just imagine a color green fire going about 1 or 2 feet. And then when you clear the negative energy, you throw it in there. This is to break it up. Okay, you neutralize
in the green
fire.
fire. Okay.
Correct. By the way, for some of you who are not aware of it, if you come from a Roman Catholic tradition, they use holy water. Holy water is essentially water and salt and the priest's prayer on top of it. So in every tradition, they've used salt and water for purifying or breaking up negative energy. So that's why we use the salt water. All right. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to back up a little bit. What you're going to do is you're going to put your hand like this, and you can imagine white light around your palms. Okay. We call this self-cleansing, self-general sweeping. Like sweeping a floor. This technique is actually done in many, many cultures. So if you go to India, a lot of the grandpas and grandmas, if the children are sick, if they live in the villages, they would actually take a broom and start sweeping the child. Again, they actually feel better. In the Philippines, they use a banana leaf. Here in the United States, the Native Americans, they will use a feather. So different traditions already do this. Except what my teacher did is saw the essence of it and realized that you don't need a broom, you don't need a banana leaf, you don't need a feather, because on all of those, you're using your hand to hold it.
Yes.
You understand the system, you don't need those things. But since they don't understand it, or they're just kind of being spiritually guided, they have to use an item. Okay? So what you're going to do, visualize your hand wrapped in white light. There's a green fire next to you. Now, before we do this, I want you to check how loose or how tight your body is. So we have a before and after comparison of how you're feeling before the blockages are removed and afterwards when the energy is flowing. All right? So cup your hand like this. Imagine white light. So you can start above your head. You just imagine this white light is like a big, big glove or a mitt around your hand. And just imagine it's cleaning your brain, removing grayish clouds of stress energy and negativity, either you generated or from someone else. Down your face, you're not touching, huh? You go like this. And the white light go into your throat. Just imagine removing grayish clouds. Your chest, your midsection, okay? I know you can see it in the camera, but you keep going all the way down to your knees, down to your feet, okay? And just imagine the green fire, throw it in the green fire. Okay, now left side, do the same thing. We're using white light. Down, the spleen area, left side, all the way down. Throw it to the green fire. Right side. Push it down again. The liver area where a lot of people hold anger. Push it down towards the green fire. Okay, the back. The way you work on your back is just simply imagining you're looking at your own back. Now, it's interesting. A lot of spiritual books and healing books will tell you your image or your visualization has to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case. You know why? First of
Why?
all, I don't know about you, but I don't know what my back looks like. So it's not the image that has to be clear, it's the intention. So
Okay.
the way you clarify your intention is you imagine like you're looking at your own back, even though the image is not clear, you silently repeat your own name. So as you imagine your back and say your name, you clarify your intention. So it's as if you're looking at your own back. That's how you get around it. So visualize your white light. This is your back. Start clearing the back of your head. If you have neck issues, just clean the back of the neck. Just imagine removing grayish clouds and blockages in between the shoulder blades, mid back, down, down, down to the lower back. If you have lower back pain, imagine the white light going into your lower back, down to the base of your spine, down your feet, and throw it to the green fire. Now, if you're sensitive, as you do this, you might feel a slight heaviness or tingling. That's the accumulation of what we call diseased energy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What diseased energy is life force that has stuck in a certain place for a long time. It became stale, so its vibration dropped. So as its vibration dropped, compared to the rest of your body, it's not as free flowing, so it gets stuck. That's what people call blockages. All right.
Okay.
You might be
Okay.
wondering how come I'm going into so much detail. I'm an engineer by trade. So I want to make sure you understand the details when you're doing this.
Definitely.
Left side. So I'm looking at my own back. Look at the left side. Imagine the left side of the head. Clean it with a white light. Left shoulder blade. Okay. Left kidney all the way down. Make sure you're saying your name. Down. Dump it to the green fire. The right side. Right side of the brain. Right side of the neck. Right shoulder blade. Go down, down, down to the hips, toward the green fire. Now, if you go like this, you might feel a slight heaviness. So the way you do it is like this. You take one hand and clear it out this way and throw it to the green fire. Okay? Or if you have a sprayer with alcohol with lavender oil, we just go like this and break it up. Or another way, some healers, this is what they do. So in India, some healers, they go like this. When they're healing, if the hands are energetically unclean, they would chant Om. You heard of mantra Om? Om. They go like this.
Yes. Yes.
Om, Om. So when they chant Om, the energy of Om is brilliant white light with violet light. So it breaks up and transforms that negative energy into positive one.
Wow. And
Okay?
is this as simple as that? And how many times a day can you do that? By the way, I can really feel the sensation in my palms of my hands again. Definitely I feel something.
Yeah, that's the first part. Now, I'd like to guide you in one more, this time using the color green. The color green is what nature uses to break up negative energy. For example, a lot of you use sandalwood or sage to purify your space, like incense, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you have, if you eat Japanese food, they eat the raw fish with soy sauce and they put wasabi or the green horseradish. The green energy has cleansing effect. So, in a similar manner, you're going to visualize your hand with a big green glove. By the way, if you're pregnant, use white light. Green is not good for the belly because it's too strong for the baby. Just want to let you know it. So imagine a green light, and we'll go through the same process. Okay, start from the top of the head, start cleaning like this, going down, down. Use the green light, go down. Let the green light go in, go down to your feet, and throw it into the fire.
And it's still a green fire, right? It's still a green
Yes.
fire. Yeah.
So it's the same thing you did earlier, but this time with green light. Then the left side of the head, green light. Go down with the green light. Go down to the feet and throw it out. Right side, green light. Down, 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 all the way down towards the green fire. Then you're back. Same thing. Imagine green light, back of your head, back of your neck, in between the shoulder blades. Go down to lower back. Visualize it going down to your feet towards the green fire. Left side, green fire. I'm sorry, green light going all the way down. Left shoulder, left kidney, left hip, left foot, throw it the green fire. Right side of the brain, right shoulder, down, down, right, right kidney area, right hip, all the way down, down your feet. Dump it in the green fire. And then you can just go like this, or just chant Om. You can do it that way. There are many ways. And then you clean, throw it in the green fire. Imagine the fire put out.
So
So
this is a more advanced technique compared to the white light one.
yes, we actually have several level classes. The white light is what we use for the level 1 class because if you don't visualize anything, automatically the color is white. That's the color energy you're using is white. It's just that if you want to be more specialized, then we use green. And if it's emotional stuff, we use the color violet.
Okay, so this can be done how many times a day would you recommend this technique?
As many times as possible. I mean, if you feel stressed, if you just came home from work, you can use it anytime. Here's the beautiful thing about uh, cleaning the energy field. You cannot over clean. You cannot overdo it.
So the more the better, basically.
Yeah. So if you try to move your body, see how you feel now compared to before we did this. If you notice that less pain or you notice that it's looser, that means the discomfort that you had or the stiffness is not to physical reasons, it's due to an energetic blockage.
I don't know about everybody else, but I can really feel a sensation, tingling sensation moving through my hands. Um, yeah, I can really feel it
Yeah, there's a flow of
going
energy.
through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go like this for cleansing. Now, another thing, if you are doing it on yourself or someone and you start noticing your hands are itchy or like stiff, that means there's an accumulation. The best way to do it is go to the sink and wash your hands with a handful of salt. That will clear it up. That will prevent things from building up.
So why salt? Why is that so special?
Because the way we notice when we do this is water absorbs the energy, so it will absorb the dirty energy. The salt chops it down and neutralizes it.
Okay, and it works.
What?
Um,
Been doing it for
yeah.
30 years.
Um, so people need to start at a very basic level, learn the very basics of pranic healing before they can actually start using recipes for particular ailments they might have.
Yes, or they
So
can try it out. My teacher wrote a book, Miracles to Pranic Healing. I wrote a book, Your Hands Can Heal You. Those have the basic premise, and you can start practicing it. And as soon as you can, attend a class so you can see it in action.
definitely. Okay. Um, so in terms of people's mental health and depression, because of this lockdown that's worldwide at the moment, there's a lot of social distancing, isolation that can lead to loneliness and depression. That's generating a huge amount of negative energy worldwide. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of negativity, a lot of worry and stress about the economy, money. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is there something that can, I understand that people need to learn the basics first, but is there something basic that can help clear out negative energy and stop this negative thinking from increasing?
Yes, there are actually many ways. One of the things that we advise people to do is to meditate. And if you're okay with it, Jaina, we can guide you in a short meditation, the one that we always do. And we go to our websites. That's one of the main one that we always tell people to do, which is called Meditation on Twin Hearts.
Okay.
Now, this meditation, Twin Hearts, just to kind of give you a little background on it, the reason it's called Twin Hearts, your human heart, your heart center, is love for people you know, your children, your parents, spouse, people close to you. That's the human heart. Your crown center is called your spiritual heart. Now, it's called a spiritual heart because when your crown is very activated, you love people not on a personal level, but on an impersonal or universal level. In other words, there are people you'll probably never meet, but they're suffering across the world. You feel a certain compassion towards them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crown center. So when you do this meditation, you're stimulating the heart and the crown. Now, the reason this is very, very important is once the heart and crown are very stimulated, a lot of spiritual energy will flow down through you. And as it flows down through you, it will actually flush out a lot of anger and stress and negativity. Now, one thing I want to stress to the audience, Gina, if you don't mind, is something like this. The secret to inner peace and inner clarity is not putting stuff into your system, but taking what you don't need out of it. Okay?
Okay.
The
Okay.
mistake most people make is, oh, I want to have more inner peace. Let me chant this. Let me do that. That's, again, just like healing, the secret is not stuffing it with more things. The secret is take all the junk out. Because when you take all these negative thoughts, negative emotions out of the system, on all your thoughts out of your system, when your aura is empty or devoid of these thoughts, the end result is inner peace.
I see.
Inner peace is actually the absence of thoughts and emotions.
Okay. Okay. So it's like a detoxification for the
Yeah,
energy.
energetic detox is what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now, if I can just answer your question on another level, it's something like this. If you put your hand this way, you go like this, it should feel, okay, just go like this first, just to kind of even it out. Okay, put your hand like this. It feels about the same, right? Okay, now, hold one hand like this. I want you to verbally say the word anger 5 times to your hand. Go. Anger, 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 anger. The other hand, say happiness, 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 happiness. Both 5 times. Put your hand like this. Compare sensation.
The other hand feels heavier. It's
Exactly.
weirder. It is
Yeah.
weird, actually. That's so strange.
Now, here's the secret. Watch. Put your hand like this. Go like that. Now compare it.
Still.
Okay? Now, but most of you know it's less, but substantially less.
Yeah.
It's something like this. Any thought, any emotion that you and I generate is essentially a frequency of energy in our energy field. So, you will notice when you're around people who are very negative, being around them, you feel heavy. That's because negative emotion has a certain weight to it. So if a person keeps thinking about negative things in their life, keeps let's just say focusing on whatever bad thing might happen and so on, and that's all they get fixated on, that means their entire energy field that looks like a cocoon of light is populated with these negative thoughts. So when that happens, guaranteed no inner peace, and it's basically a downward spiral. Make sense? Now, you'll
Yes.
notice when people are positive, just imagine they populate the entire aura with positive energy. And so they don't have to try too hard. Their bodies are absorbing good energy instead of negative ones. So to equal everything out is when you do meditation, you flush everything out. So it's like pushing a reset or a reboot. So the aura is
Okay.
clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I hope that gives you a little background. Then if you're ready, we can do the meditation.
Yes, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So we'll try to make this universal, whatever your religion or faith is. Okay? Take your left hand, tap the center of your chest to stimulate your heart center. Take your right hand, tap your crown. Put your hand like this. Okay, close your eyes. We'll guide you through the entire thing. First, imagine someone you love in your life. Imagine them in front of you. It could be a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, children, parents, anybody. Just one person. Now put your attention on your heart and your hands and fill them with beautiful pink light. Beautiful pink light. And just say, from my heart to yours, I shower you with love and much affection unconditionally. So just fill them with beautiful pink light. Fill them with unconditional love and unconditional affection with absolutely no expectations. Smile. Just fill them with beautiful pink light. Beautiful pink light. Good. Now put your attention on your crown, and this time flood them with golden light. Just golden light flowing down from the top of your head to your hands, and fill them with it. Good. Now we share this loving energy not just with one person, but the entire world. So visualize the world in front of you like a little ball, a little globe, and this person you love as one of billions of people. So focus gently on your heart and your hands. Fill the earth, the entire earth, with beautiful pink light. And we'll just use a universal prayer called the Prayer of St. Francis. So whoever you pray to, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred, let me sow love. Bless your family, your friends, the city you live in with love, the state that you live in with love, the country you live in with love, the entire world with waves and waves of peace and love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Bless all the people that we have hurt, intentionally or not, with beautiful pink light, and bless all the people that have hurt us, also with beautiful pink light. Bless them with love, with peace and forgiveness. Where there's darkness, let me sow light, and where there's sadness, let me sow joy. Just fill the earth with intense, intense, beautiful pink light, blessing every person with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and faith, with light and lots of joy. So be it. You might feel your hands tingling. You might feel a pressure. That's just energy flowing through you. Now be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift it up to the top of your head and exhale. One more time from your heart. Inhale. Go to the top of your head. Exhale. And one more time. Be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Go to the crown and exhale. And stay there. Now be aware of your crown and your hands. This time imagine liquid golden light from your crown flowing down to your hands to the entire earth. From the heart of all loving God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with loving kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed now. Just fill the earth with golden light. Your family, your relatives, your friends, your work. Let the golden light just spread to the city, the state, the country. Let it fill the entire earth. At this time, a lot of you feel more tingling or even a slight pressure in your head. That's just the energy flowing. Now, be aware of your heart and crown at the same time. Take a deep breath. Exhale, rivers of golden light coming out of your palms to the earth. Again, be aware of your heart and crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale, massive golden light out of your hands. One more time, heart and crown, inhale. Be aware of your hands, exhale, golden light. The earth is saturated with golden light. From the center of the heart of all loving God, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with loving kindness, with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed, unconditionally and without exception. So be it. Now, gently lower your hands on your lap, palms up. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. About 1 inch above your head, imagine a beautiful golden flame. A beautiful golden flame. Be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into the flame. Just look at the flame, nothing but the flame. I'm going to chant Om. Just look at the flame and put your gentle attention on the silence in between each Om. Om. Be still. Allow your awareness to just simply drift into that empty space and fill it with light. Just stay there. Om. Your consciousness and attention is now completely in that space, in that gap, and feeling it. Om. Allow your awareness to drift deeper and deeper into that inner peace and inner stillness, and just simply let go and let things be now. Let go. Any sound, any noise you hear will just allow you to go deeper and deeper into that state of stillness now. Gently, slowly, very gently and slowly come back. Move your fingers, move your feet, move your toes. Slowly and gently come back to your physical body now. Now just raise your hands like you did earlier. Okay, first imagine all the people you love. Fill them with golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity and spirituality. So be it. Now visualize your job, your career with success, with progress, with advancement, with prosperity and divine protection. Bless the earth with golden light. Bless all the people who are in the front lines. Bless all the health givers, the caregivers. Bless them with inner strength and divine protection. Bless all the people who've been affected by this situation. Flood them with peace, with love, with healing. Bless them with rapid physical healing, and the ones who've been affected emotionally, with emotional and mental healing. So be it. Let the golden light spread throughout the entire world. Let there be peace, love, and healing to all. So be it. So be it, and so it is. Okay, you may slowly open your eyes. How was the meditation?
Wow, I really feel strong sensations running through my hands.
Uh-huh.
I really felt such peace, such peace, such a nice warm feeling with the golden light.
And you
I'm
notice
getting,
now your mind is very, very quiet, like it's
yeah,
blank. Yeah,
it is, yeah, yeah,
it's a short meditation. That's a
yeah.
short version.
This is a short meditation,
That's
and
a
this
short
is,
version.
and so there's a longer version to this, which is in your book as well,
Yes.
and people can get a hold of this meditation, and read through the whole thing if they want to. But this is the shorthand version of the thing if they want to start with that.
Correct.
Okay. Just a few more things I wanted to ask you that other people have mentioned to me. With all this pranic healing, have you developed any clairvoyant abilities? Would you consider yourself a clairvoyant?
I've never answered that question publicly because I always believe that if you think I have something special that you don't, then it's disempowering for you because you think, oh, the only reason he can do this is because he has these gifts. But I
Okay.
told you earlier when I first started, I didn't feel anything, didn't see anything, zero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably worse than most of you. And yes, if I can get to where I am after 30 years and helping so many people, all of you can do this.
Okay, okay.
But to answer
Um,
your question, Jaina, most of you, if you were to do a simple experiment,
mm,
if you go in front of a mirror,
mm.
turn the lights off, and just have a little light on the side, and just gently look a few inches above your head, most of you will see a lot of light around the head. Because this life force, once you're in a state of stillness, your eyes defocus and will see a peripheral light, and that's part of the aura. So everybody can develop this skill.
Okay, okay. I'll definitely give that a go.
Yeah.
Um, you've been practicing pranic healing since 1988. That's well over 30 years now. And I have to say, you look amazing for your age. I know you told me your age earlier. You're in your 50s. I would say you look like you're in your early 40s. You look amazing for your age. You look in very good shape and you
Oh,
don't look like you've aged at all.
oh, thank
So,
you. Flattery gets you everywhere.
pranic healing must be the secret. Um, the thing is, this is sort of a provocative question, but you look in fantastic shape. But Grandmaster Chok Sui, he died in his 50s, if I'm
Hmm.
correct on that. He didn't look as good as you. I don't mean to be.
No, I can actually tell you a little more about it if you like.
Yes, please. Could you explain?
So,
I'm trying to be
yeah.
delicate with that question.
Oh no, it's not delicate. It's something I think would be empowering for people if they understood it. Is in the earlier years when he was developing pranic healing and what we practice called arhatic yoga, there was there's no one to experiment with, and it would be irresponsible for him to try this technique on people. What if it doesn't work? So what he did is he used his body as a laboratory and would do certain meditations, certain practices. Some are too strong, not too strong. It did some damage to his body. So from there, he was able to extract what works and what doesn't work. By the time he taught it to us, it's already been refined. So in his case, the reason his body aged so quickly is because he did not have the skills or the techniques initially. He had to use his body to make experiments, and some experiments went well, some did not. And so the sacrifices he made on his body is what allowed him to give us the techniques that do not have those side effects. So by the
Hmm.
time he got to me, I was lucky. He already perfected it.
Makes
That's why.
sense. Makes perfect sense. He also modified what we call the five Tibetan rites, also known in your book as the Tibetan yogic exercises.
Correct.
Um, why did he improve it, and what improved modifications, in your opinion and
So
in your experience?
the five Tibetan rites is very popular. It's all over the internet. A lot of yoga teachers teach it. So these five Tibetan rites actually originated in India. All right, they had the Indian version, which are more difficult. This was the Tibetan version are simplified. Now, even if it's simplified for a lot of people, if your body is not flexible or you have back pain, you cannot lay down and have your legs go all the way up like this and your neck go like this. A lot of people can't do that. So what he looked at it, and the thing he did is he said, okay, these are the exercises. What energy centers are actually being stimulated by these techniques to develop this life-giving and youthful giving energy? And so by the time he was able to figure it out which ones, he was able to modify it in a way that your body can do it without such strain or flexibility and still get the same energetic result, thereby making your body more youthful.
And in terms of, so that's the reason why he modified it to make it more useful and easier for people to implement in their own lives.
Yes, because it's supposed to make people feel younger and healthier. Well, if the older people do not have the capability to do it, then it's a mute point. So he
Mm.
made it in such a way that even the elderly can also do it to be able to stay younger longer.
And there are only five of these Tibetan rites. There's only five Tibetan yogic exercises. I heard there might be a few more. Am I wrong in that?
Actually, there's six, but the one
Okay.
that's given to the general public are five.
Okay. So in terms of, could you explain what the sixth one is used for then?
The sixth one is to charge your brain and to recirculate the creative force because a lot of people don't understand that when you do these Tibetan breathing exercises, many things happen. Number one, you have more energy. and your sex drive also increases. Because if you think about it, a teenager sex drive compared to somebody in their 80s, you notice a big difference, right?
Yes.
So this sexual energy, a lot of people don't understand, is not just for sex and pleasure. It's actually a creative, youthful energy. So when you do these exercises, the 5 of them, you'll notice, number one, if you do it consistently every single day, you'll notice you have more energy, you have more vitality. At the same time, your sex drive goes to the roof. So the sixth Tibetan rite is actually how to channel that energy upwards to your brain so you're not too excitable all day long.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. Okay, because in your book, Your Hands Can Heal You, you mentioned these five Tibetan rites, but there isn't the sixth one mentioned. Can I ask why? Is that
Uh,
something?
yes, because the technique is more advanced and it requires certain dietary restrictions that the person cannot eat pork, the person cannot eat energy foods that have energy that's heavy because if they eat something like pork or catfish or eel, which actually block the flow of energy in your solar plexus, and they try to move that sexual energy, when it gets stuck, it goes back down, the person goes crazier. So
Okay,
to prevent that from happening, because not everybody follows instructions in the book, we did not put it in.
okay. Fair enough. And after all these years of practicing pranic healing, what would you say, in your experience, is the most powerful technique that you've learned?
All of it.
All of it.
You cannot pick and choose. It's one of those things where you have to practice your meditation, you have to practice your self cleansing, you have to watch your consciousness. All of it work as one package. Unfortunately, a lot of people have that mentality. Okay, you have 20 different techniques. Which is the best one? It's just like saying that you have this rituals of brushing your teeth, combing your hair, taking a shower, uh, eating lunch, and eating dinner. You say which one of these is the most important? All of them, because all of them are synergistic.
And okay, so you can't just choose one. If there was one to do every single day without fail, I mean, you must have a daily routine, Master Co. You probably have a routine of exercises that you follow. Um,
Okay, so to
could
make
could you
to
could you talk us through that? What that sequence of exercises is, for example?
well, what if I were to have one, let's say, prescribe a system for everyone that they can do, would be as simple as this. After they do whatever they do with taking a shower and all that stuff, first they do a short meditation, and after meditation, they do the Tibetan 5 rites. And then in the evening, when they come home, they do a self cleansing and cut the negative connections. And that's already bare bones. If there were, that would be a good system to follow. If you do that just every day for a week, even in the first week, you notice a huge improvement.
Okay, and so where do people go now? Because everything's on lockdown all over the world. For people who are interested now, because we've obviously whetted their appetite with this. For people who want to know more, where can they go? You mentioned there was a year one course, a beginner's course in pranic healing. Where can they find it? Is it online? Is it easily accessible? How do people go about that? Please tell us.
Okay, if you want, you can do it in steps. Number one, while they're still in lockdown, there's certain things they can do. One of the things I've done for the last couple of weeks is if you go to my website, masterco.org, we actually have two parts that I want to point you to. One is called live streams, where there's one self-healing technique for respiratory system and two meditations that's in there. And then there's one called the healing chant, where we chant the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, and it has cleansing effect on our aura and our chakras. It actually clears your mind, and we then direct that energy to different parts of society who really need it at this time. And I kind of mentioned part of it during the meditation. The caregivers, the leaders, the government officials that need guidance, need clarity, the patients who are sick, the service industry where you're in lockdown, but they still have to pick up rubbish. They still have to have food in the supermarkets and so on and so on. There are a lot of people in the background who are in harm's way, if you will, being so exposed. We need to send them good energy. And we also, in that meditation, in those chants, we also chant to bless the economies, your finances. That's why it's important that people have a ritual or routine they can do energetically to purify the system and to be of service to others.
But I mean, is there a paid course that people can do, Master Co, if they want to learn from start to finish your beginner's course? I mean, I have your book in front of me now, which you can pick up from Amazon. Your Hands Can Heal You. And I'm reading that right now. And there's techniques in there that people can get started with. They can watch your videos. They can watch this video, which we're doing now. Is there also a paid online course that you're developing that can, the absolute beginner's course, if they want to know more about this?
Right now, we don't have one yet on online because this kind of caught everybody by surprise because
Mm.
the way Pranic Healing works is so experiential that we have in a class setting where you watch people, you practice with each other. But we are developing one that's going to be like an introductory, not the full course, because it's always best to have somebody interact with you face to face. But we're developing that so that we can have one, let's say, an hour that you can have the basics, or at least be able to help yourself in the meantime, um, so that when this thing opens, there are classes being taught all over the world.
Amazing. I can't wait for that. Thank you so much for your time today, Master Co. It's been enlightening. Um, I've learned so much in this time. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom. And I hope the audience and the people watching this have something very, very powerful and meaningful to take away, and they can implement it in their lives. And
Oh, my pleasure.
if you want to know more about Master Co and his background, you can go on his website, which he said is Master Co. That's Master co.org. And you can also pick up his book. The one I have in front of me is Your Hands Can Heal You. But you've written a few other books, haven't you? You've written one on crystals and other things as well. But I believe this is your main one.
That's the main one.
There are others I've seen as well. I think there's one on power breathing as well, which I've come across.
Yes, that's a
Um,
Power Prana. That's the second one, correct?
yeah. But in terms of a beginning book, you would say this is the best one to start with. Your Hands Can Heal You. Would you say that's the best introductory book that people
Yes, it
can go
is.
out and buy?
Because it gives you like an overview of all the different things you can use with energy.
Fantastic. Thank you again for your time, Master Co. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you.
God
It's been a
bless. God
pleasure.
bless. Thank
God
you.
bless.